welcome to Around the Hearth, a Hearthstone podcast brought to you weekly. Hey guys, and welcome to Around the Hearth. This is episode 14. You know, it's a great week. We got 3 friends here. We all met on Reddit, and we're ready to introduce you guys to some awesome news. So,
what's up?
Yep, we got.
So how was everyone's week in Hearthstone? How about you, Squirrel? Squirrel being the lovely man on the right here. We haven't introduced ourselves. I am Robobson. The man in the middle is ZT Dubs, and the man on the right is Evil Squirrel. So, Squirrel, take it away. What have you been up to?
So, this was an interesting week for me. I decided this was going to be my month of Rogue, and I got off to a good start actually. I decided I was going to play the Tempo Elemental Rogue, and it's a fun deck to play. It wasn't Quest Rogue, and it just was different and fun. And I actually had a really good start to it, and I started the season and quickly went to 10, quickly went to 5, quickly went to 6. And then, I don't know what happened, but like, RNG and my brain just decided that they were going to stop working for a couple of days. And I was playing terribly. Like, I couldn't count, I couldn't add to 4. I couldn't make like smart trades. Like, RNG was terrible. Even if I tried to like change my deck, I would queue into the wrong thing. So I fell all the way back from 6 to 10. Felt really bad.
Dude.
And I just said, all right, I need to refocus. So I took off of Rogue, and I started playing Jombra's UK Paladin, which we will talk about in the deck of the week this week. And I have win streaked all the way back to rank 7. So my goal is to try to hit Dad Legend. Once I hit Dad Legend, I'm back to Rogue. I've gone from level 40 to level 50, so I've got 10 levels in a week.
Grind.
So
I
actually built myself an Elemental Jade Shaman, which is an Elemental Jade Rogue, which is a lot of fun to play, but I really don't want to lose stars. So it will come out.
It's a lot of fun, but it's kind of bad, is what you say.
So it will come out when I hit rank 5. So that's been my week. What about you, Dubs? What's going on with you?
So, I've just been doing that grind. I'm up to rank 4 now, almost rank 3. And, I've just been playing Inner Fire Priest. The deck is still nuts. I think I got a turn 3. It was like 20-something. It felt real good. And I've been working really hard on hosting a league. So I got all the small stuff set up. Now I just need players. So anyone, if you're all listening, you want to play, I'm going to be posting this stuff on our Facebook page. And I'm sure we can have like a link or something in the show notes as well. So if you have the interest, come check it out. Because it's going to be it's going to be a 4-week league with top 8 finals. It's going to be streamed. Money is going to be on the line. It's going to be great. So,
I'm personally pretty excited for it because both of you are in it, and neither of you can ever beat me.
It's true. I can beat anyone, but you're like my kryptonite.
I think I always concentrate harder when I'm playing you guys. Plus, I kind of know how you play now, so I'm just like, let's get it.
Terribly. You guys to play terrible.
I feel like the Quest Rogue incident needs to be regaled. Yeah. So pre-nerf yesterday, I was giving.
Let's see how you do without your Quest Rogue deck.
I know I was teaching. I was giving Squirrel a little bit of coaching on playing Quest Rogue. So I believe he had. He tried to.
I pulled out a Celsi deckhand which brought out patches. So I had a 2/1 and a 1/1.
And a
and
dagger.
I had my dagger. and there was a 1/2 Stonehill Defender and something else with 1 health. And for some reason, I traded the 1/1 patches and my face into the Stonehill Defender, and then did 2 damage to the thing that only had 1, and that 1 damage killed me.
Yeah, he then died.
Man.
After having taken an unnecessary 1 damage, he then died to Bloodlust exact lethal. It was pretty special.
All I heard was, "What the fuck? What the fuck? What's
like, dude?
Can you count? Can you add? How does 1 + 1 + 2 equal 3? What is wrong with you?" So, needless to say, my brain was. I'm trying to get into the groove.
Yeah, you were like, I miscounted. I was like, the only numbers were 1 and 2. How can you miscount 1 and 2?
Rogue sucks. Fuck Rogue.
Oh, Rogue.
Anyway,
you can
how was your week?
now.
How was your week, Bobson?
Mine was good. I've been doing a bit of grinding. I'm currently rank 4 EU, rank 5 NA. Now I'm getting that Asia Dad Legend. So after getting the quad Dad last season, the goal for this season is now just to see how fast I can do it. So I'm going for like maybe 3 days time. Then I'm probably going to be just trying to. I want to get 2 legends. I want to get EU and NA. That's the target for this month.
That would be awesome.
Like I had such a spectacular win streak last night. Like I was for some reason rank 8 is always the place where I get stuck constantly.
Yeah, I was stuck at
Like,
rank 8 too.
I'm like fine from like all the way 15 down to 8. Then 8 I just spend like an inordinate amount of time there. Then I just like break out. As soon as I do, I hit rank 5. Like 6 is never an issue. It's always 8. But I went from I was playing the UK Paladin, which I've played a shitload of. So I'll be talking, as like Squirrel said, I'll be talking about that later. And I think I went on I played 14 games and lost 1 going from rank 9 to rank 5. Just like I worked out like afterwards how many games I'd won in a row. I was like, I just won 10 games in a row. Holy shit.
That's awesome.
I don't think I've ever done that before. So I had a pretty good week. And I'm also just and I've put in my pre-orders. I'm started stockpiling gold. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-orders? Dubs, what is he talking about?
Oh, wait. Pre-orders for what? Well, after we listen to this wonderful cinematic, we have some wonderful news for you. So here we go. Let's all take a listen.
Always remember that power is a double-edged blade. One side light, the other dark. It calls to you when you are most desperate. When victory seems worth any sacrifice. There is a price to be paid for such a gift. And many eagerly accept the bargain. The righteous and the meek may recoil at its cost. But they have no vision. Power alone is not to be feared. Fear instead those who wield it.
The Lich King. He is coming in August. What? I am so stoked. I don't think you guys realize how excited I am for this. After that gruelingly long trailer, we get to talk about it.
Oh my god. So
I'll let you guys go first because I'm just gonna burst with excitement. Right? So.
I mean, I think you're actually the one of us with the most kind of in-depth Warcraft background. So why don't you fill us in on like some of the general themes?
So death, Death is the theme. Everyone dies, and they come back to life as zombies,
Death
including
and power.
our heroes. So all 9 classes will become Death Knights with exclusive hero cards, which we'll be discussing one of them in a little bit. But yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of undead. I was kind of disappointed they didn't introduce like an undead tribe, but you can't win them all. But a lot of draining life, because they're gonna introduce what's it called, lifesteal, which is on a few cards.
We need to get to that.
Yeah, that's true.
So Knights of the Frozen Throne is the name of the expansion, and like Zach said, it is based upon the Ice Crown Citadel and Wrath of the Lich King expansion. It was an amazing expansion. There's a lot of characters that came out of it, which were fantastic. Very, very excited about that.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the characters were already exist. Like it was like the culmination of the story that began in like Warcraft 3. So I think it's like Wrath of the Lich King was like a pretty big deal for like all the really old school.
It was the best expansion they
Warcraft
ever made.
Players. Yeah, like this has like a serious like place in Warcraft and World of Warcraft players' hearts. So it's really cool that they are bringing this to Hearthstone, to try and get like more kind of into Blizzard game interest going.
I was so nervous though when they're like, "How can we make this wacky and fun?" And I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Everyone dies." I was like, "Yes!"
I like everything's like dark. It's all about like the lust for power and like power. Like was in the trailer, power at any cost. And like they really haven't like kind of tried to lighten the tone at all, which is cool.
Yeah. No, I agree, Dubs. I was really scared when Ben Brode was talking and saying, "How can we make this fun and exciting?" And then he goes, everybody dies," and I was like, "Yes, that is awesome."
I was on the edge of my seat.
Answer.
Going in with that, what that means for and what they explained is that there is going to be a new card type introduced into the game, and the card type is going to be called the Hero cards. And the hero cards are there's going to be 9, one for each of the original heroes. They will not have, for example, Murgle or the other alternate heroes.
Would be cool though.
That would be cool, but and each one is going to be a Death Knight version of that card, and each card will give you armor, as well as a battle cry effect upon entrance. And then it will also change your hero power. Very cool. Very exciting to see what they do with this. And I'm just really excited. I think this is really great.
Death rattles.
What do you guys think about the heroes?
From what I see from Nexar, it's pretty cool. I don't know how powerful they're going to be because Control Hunter is not a thing currently, but if it can become a thing,
will it be a thing?
Yeah, I mean,
but
I've been messing around with the zombies generator, and I'm getting some pretty nuts stuff.
Yeah, so let's talk about that since we're talking about the heroes. Yeah. The first one was revealed. His name is Deathstalker Rexar, and it's a 6 mana card. It gives you 5 armor. And its battle cry is deal 2 damage to all enemy minions.
Let me go ahead and actually bring this up on the screen so everyone can see.
Yeah, so it's actually similar to a Consecrate, except it does not damage the enemy hero. And then it replaces your hero power with something called Create a Zombeast. So Zach, why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
All right, so Build a Beast. What it does is you get to pick, it's like Discover kind of, you get 2 separate choices. The first one, it can be anywhere from 0 mana to 5 mana. 5 mana is the max. And it'll be stuff with, unique text like when, like Knuckles or Scavenging Hyena.
Angry Chicken.
That's
Angry
actually...
Chicken.
Is
I
it?
would
No,
check into it.
enrage is a keyword, but yeah. So after you do that, you pick that. It goes to a second selection. Once again, 0 mana to 5 mana. That's going to be vanilla cards or cards with keywords like enrage, charge, taunt, stuff like that. After you pick both of them, it combines it together. So if you chose the first one costs 2 mana, the second one costs 5 mana, it's going to make a 7 mana. It's going to combine their attack and their toughness together in their effects. So
The
theoretically,
toughness.
I'm sorry, health. But
The toughness.
I haven't played another Magic lately. But yeah, so like you could theoretically get a Fletchling and a Stonetusk Boar, and now you have a 4/4
That is the
charge
dream.
battle cry.
That is the broken dream.
Yes.
Of course.
But
That
I've
is
been
the
getting a lot of
absolute
stuff
fucking
like Stampede Kodo mixed with something else, or Pack Rat.
It's gonna come up. It's gonna come up with some interesting stuff. But I think there's quite a lot of like you think. I went on the zombies genre and like generally the options you get are just pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna get the dream every now and then. Like it's cool that Hunter gets a value generator.
This might go
Which is
with
something
the Auction Master though. You run some like cheap spells, refresh your hero power, make a whole bunch
Miracle
of.
Hunter.
That would be
Miracle
cool.
Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it would also, you would then still have to play the things.
Yeah.
Like it'll remain to be seen how. Like obviously Hunter's gonna go in a very different direction, so I've got absolutely no idea how to predict how that's gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have to
I-
see. There's
I
only
like
5 cards so far revealed, so it kind of just going
Sure,
off
But
what we know.
But it is life gain for Hunter, and AOE for Hunter, and value for Hunter. Control Hunter.
Yeah. No. I think
I mean, I'm gonna try it.
it's really interesting. I mean, I'm going to try all the heroes.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Are you gonna craft it gold
I'll probably craft the gold one, the worst gold one on day one. But
without doubt?
in all seriousness, it's this card. It's interesting because what's Hunter's biggest problem? Card draw. Okay, running out of resources.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you could play some sort of mid-rangey kind of Hunter build, and then just have this as like your last card. You know what I mean? Like
No.
when you just kind of run out of stuff, then every turn you spend 2 mana and you can craft something and play it.
And you can always craft it toward kind of adapting to your situation, kind of thing.
Right. So
You build what you
so-
need.
So it's interesting in that regard. But replacing Hunter's hero power is interesting. I mean, people really thought Dynamancy was going to be a good card, and it turned out to be a giant flop.
Yeah.
So
Same with Stampede.
yeah, exactly. So
People thought Stampede was gonna be nuts.
I
Us
think
included.
this is going to be fun. I think that this card is definitely going to be on Disguised Toast videos. But
Trolling videos.
but I don't know how. You know how good it's going to be.
All I know
this-
is we need a race to get the first Flappy Bird and Stonetusk Boar. That's gonna be a big deal.
Yeah.
Or you get Flappy Bird and Tundra Rhino.
Yeah. A little bit
Yeah.
more expensive.
But better.
But it also gives all your other shit
Oh, yeah.
charge.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's
Give
gonna be,
all of your beast
that's
charge.
gonna be so bad.
that's Hunter hero. So I'm really excited to see what the other heroes are.
I am Shadow Priest.
Yeah, it's gonna be something
Shadow
Shadow
Priest.
Priest.
Yeah.
Like if you look at like the big
He's holding
Was
it.
poster, he's holding the Shadow Form card.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. So
It just bothers me. He doesn't have any feet.
Well, I mean, he's clearly like he's a shade,
I know. It's
Some
just I'm
type.
like everyone else has feet. He doesn't. It just bothers me. I don't know.
but he appears to be the only one who is not like a physical entity, which
Yeah.
like
He's
can
a- he's
can
a
shade
wraith now.
Death Knights.
He's a.
Wait, shade.
I don't
Like
know. The original Death Knights
yeah,
weren't
I-
even what they are now. So I mean, at that, if you go by that, anyone could be a Death Knight.
yeah.
I'm just excited to play Shadow Priest.
Yeah.
So
All right.
speaking of priest and things they do, the first thing that I thought of when I heard about this new mechanic was priest. So Bobson, why don't you tell us about the new mechanic in the new expansion?
Yeah, of priest thematically linked there. The new mechanic, because every expansion has to have a new mechanic now, is lifesteal. Lifesteal is a mechanic that is already technically existing in the game, much in the same way that poisonous existed in the game for long before it was actually a thing. So lifesteal is essentially the keyword name for what Wickerflame, Burn Bristle, and Mistress of Pain do, which is that any damage done by that card is restored to your hero. So we could take a look at one of the newly announced one of the first released cards, which is this priest card called Spirit Lash.
Ooh, yeah.
2 mana, priest spell, lifesteal, deal 1 damage to all minions. So it is you activate a Tentacle of N'Zoth, and all the damage done is it's what would happen if you played the spell with Halazil in play.
I am
kind of.
super excited about this, and then I guess whenever it's my turn to talk, I'm gonna go in big in depth with this card because there's a lot of crazy stuff you can do with it.
I think Thalnos plus this card is a pretty fucking nuts combo. Like
Or Valen's Chosen if you play Wild.
Or Valen's Chosen. Yeah. Like it's just like I think this is gonna be like a really tidy anti-aggro card.
I mean, Priest struggles in early, especially against Pirate Warrior. This is just gonna wreck Pirate Warrior now.
Yeah, like it's just doing 1 damage to all those 1 health tokens and like Shaman and Pirate Warrior. it is nice to have, like, in like my Reno quest priest thing. Like I had Unstable Ghoul, literally just because it's a fucking terrible card, but it has like a whirlwind effect, and you need that so much. Yeah. So for priest to get one is pretty cool. Although I'm not 100% sure about like whether it's I've still yet to make up my mind about whether like the lifesteal minions and cards seem a little kind of overpriced, but that might be just because
I mean, two
in playtesting,
deal 1 damage to everything is the standard.
This card. Shout out to the guys that were with me at the Hearth John finals. Okay, we were sitting around talking about Priest, and we were saying Priest is like, a really good tier 2 deck, but it just needs one more thing, and it would be the tier 1, the top of the tier 1. What would that be? So I said, you know what it needs, guys? It needs early AoE. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, no way, that's ridiculous. Priest doesn't need any more AoE. They got Holy No. Dragonfire.
It needs something before turn.
It would be ridiculous. So that's what I said. But they said if they had that, it would be ridiculous. Well, here it is. It's
Eat your heart out,
which is the same cost as the Maelstrom portal, for example, and you're gaining all your life back. So if they do turn 1, like Pirate Warrior does turn 1, and he does like the Zos first mate into patches, and then plays a coin, and then plays South Sea Deckhand. Okay, he hits you.
They can see.
He hits you for 4, and then you kill his whole board and gain 3 back. It's ridiculous. It is the anti-aggro card of anti-aggro cards, and this single-handedly, I think, could put Priest into the top tier.
Yes, and this card is actually also an aggressive card.
I'm refraining from making any such bold predictions.
No, I am
just yet.
Especially, I'm coming from a wild perspective. No, I'm saying it right now. If I'm wrong, I'll delete my Hearthstone account. That's how confident I am. This card is nuts.
But sure, it's a bold prediction, but I'll say that we haven't seen anything else yet. But if just this one card was in the meta now, just this one card, Priest would be tier 1.
Yeah. The reason I'm so excited, though, is Light Warden, Shadow Boxer, the other card of 3/5 gain 2 attack. They showed this. You gain 1 health individually. So if you have Shadow Boxer, you gain, let's say 5 health. You hit 5. It's all minions. So your guys too. So you hit 3 of theirs, 3 of yours. That's 6, right? You then
Your
gain
wild
6
combo
life.
priest is gonna be pretty...
Shadow boxer, shooting people one at a time, 6 damage. Or if you play, what's it called? I can't remember. The 1 mana spell that heals you for 3 if you're still damaged. Summon a Light Warden, or if you just play a Light Warden.
Lighter than Naru.
Yeah, Lighter than Naru. You have that. You have one of the 2 of those out. You play this. You gain 6 health individually. That's 12 attack that they just gained. Bam!
Yeah.
You just in for 12. Like, this is going to be crazy. Some sort of weird, wacky, aggressive priest deck is going to run this. It's going to clear the board. You have a big dude. You kill him.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to think of like I'm trying to think of the least card combo that would get Light One. Light One gets +2 with each healing, right?
Yep.
yes.
Yeah, I
So
get
if
them all
you-
the time in my Inner Fire Priest just from the Lighter than Naru.
So if you did spell, circle of healing, spell, circle of healing, and then this,
That's
then
OTK.
a Light One, then Light One will gain +30 attack.
Yeah, it's OTK. It's pretty crazy.
Oh my god! So you could just do powered shield, circle, Spirit Lash.
Yep.
4 mana with a Light Warden on and 5 minions on board, and that is an OTK.
I'm telling you, as soon as I saw this card, I thought of that combo. Now I'm like, I'm playing this. I cannot wait.
But they have to be. But they have to be damaged, Bobson, for them to heal.
Yeah, no. Oh, sorry. I meant to say with Wild Pyromancer on board. So
Okay, sure.
if you had Wild Pyro, shield, circle,
Yes.
Spirit Lash.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would kill everything.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is
I
definitely-
mean, I look forward to trying that.
Yeah. No,
Like-
there's
like-
lots of really cool things that are going to come from this card.
Like I get the feeling Lifesteal is going. It seems to be worth quite a lot, mana wise. So I feel like the play testing must have shown this to be pretty nuts.
They probably shit
So-
themselves when they're playtesting this. They're like, oh.
I get it. I get what you're saying, but we've only seen one other lifesteal card, which we'll talk about in a second. But I
But
don't
this is.
I don't think that this is overcosted. I mean,
Oh no, not at all.
I mean,
No, I'm not saying it's overcosted, but I'm struggling to like imagine the. Well, I can't think of like what the mechanic should really be worth without having
Well, you have to think.
seen it.
Flash heal.
So obviously, it must be pretty insane.
Flash heal is
But, like-
gain 5 life for 1 mana. Yeah, there's a couple cards that do something very similar. Whirlwind, deal 1 damage to everything. That's 1 mana. So if you like deal
Yeah.
damage to everything, gain 5 life, 2 mana. You know, because theoretically you're only going to gain like 3 or 4 life off this when you play it.
Seems fair. Yeah, it's like it does seem to be one of the more expensive keywords, judging from the other lifesteal card, which we have seen. So get that up for us, Dubs.
yeah,
the-
okay, so
the-
let's talk about that one.
Let's bring it up.
This
This is a
thingy,
poor man's
Oh.
true silver champion.
or a poor man's Argent Horse Rider, or
I don't know. I mean, if you could throw some buffs on this, like throw this down, Blessing King, something like that. You know, it could be.
Okay, so hold on for our listeners. This card is called the Chillblade Champion. It is a paladin card, and it is 4 mana for 3 attack, 2 health, charge, and lifesteal.
so it's 4 mana, do 3 damage, and heal
Like-
3.
Holy Wrath. Not Holy Wrath, what am I thinking of? Hammer of Wrath?
Hammer of Wrath, but
Yeah.
instead of drawing a card, you get 3 health. Like this, like obviously every time they release, where they showcase the new mechanic, they will always show like the really boring kind of just it has the mechanic card, like the what was it, Elder Longneck for Ungoro and Adapt, just the 4 mana 5/4 Adapt guy.
Yeah.
Which has never been seen again.
Yeah, who's that?
This is, that might be the wrong name. It's a dinosaur thing, but like, it's one of the fucking dinosaurs. But I think this is just the continuation along that theme. It's just, look, it's a card with lifesteal. Do you like our new mechanic? And just we never talk about this card again.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the fact that it has charge opens up a lot of avenues.
But it is still a rubbish card.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
you could probably pull some
play...
like throw this down, Blessing of Might, and then Faceless Manipulator. That's 16 damage. You gain 16 health. I don't know if you have a clear board.
You never know with charge cards. Charge cards. I mean, because
there's always that possibility with charge.
There was a 3-mana 2/1 with charge and Divine Shield, and everyone played that card. So
yeah, but that's because Divine Shield is really good.
Yeah.
Yes, Divine
Like
Shield.
it remains to be seen if Lifesteal is as good as Divine Shield.
Can you imagine if it had Divine Shield? Ooh.
And it's like what kind of deck would a charge which heals you kind of fit in? Like, because healing is like kind of control thing, and charge is a kind of aggro thing. So
yeah, it's an interesting card.
It could work, but I'm gonna make a not so bold prediction that this card is never going to be seen again.
Yeah, I'm keeping my mouth shut on this one.
There will be some really good lifesteal cards. The priest spell might turn out to be one of the really good lifesteal cards, but the thing whose name I just forgot is not going to be one of them. Chillblade Champion, that guy.
So let's move on to the next card. Let's go to the Shallow Grave Digger.
I feel like I'm the only person excited about this card.
Shallow Grave Digger is very interesting. It's a 3-mana, 3 health, 1. 3 attack, 1 health. And its death rattle is add a random death rattle minion to your hand. It's interesting. The first thing that people said was that this would be pretty good in Quest Priest.
I disagree.
I mean, this is just the first thing that I heard about it. Is just to get more death rattle stuff kind of going. But I mean, what's your thoughts on it, guys?
I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be great, but I think it will fit in with the Death Rattle Priest, just because whenever I play it, a lot of the Death Rattles are kind of expensive. I know it's random. It gives you a random one, but if you can get kind of on curve from this, it dies, you get a 4 cost, or you get a 5 cost, something like that. It just kind of helps you complete it, because I always find myself struggling later in the game, because Priest doesn't have that much card draw unless you run like Power Word Shield. So this is just giving you the Death Rattles you need. And it's not great by any means, but I feel like it just kind of, it might be that little push that Death Rattle Priest needs. We have to see what other Death Rattles are given in the set.
I imagine Death Rattles are death. This card makes me sad. just every aspect of it makes me kind of sad. Like the stat line is just dreadful. Like it's the Backstreet Leper stat line, just like 3-mana 3/1 is never ever good.
Yeah.
Like, and the Death Rattle is like it's a considerably worse Museum Curator in almost every way.
Oh, definitely.
Except Museum Curator had better stats despite costing 1 less mana, because every class can do 1 damage.
Yeah.
Like most classes struggle to do the 2 damage, so I'd actually rather a 1/2 than a 3/1.
Oh, any day,
almost all the time, especially in like any class which generally the ones which play with Death Rattles, which are pretty much Shaman and Priest. Like they want like their minions to kind of stick around for a turn or two. This one won't. And then the randomness of the Death Rattle, just like
you could always get.
There are some really bad Death Rattles. There are a lot of really bad Death Rattles, especially at the moment in Standard, which is the main reason Quest Priest doesn't work. So they're gonna I imagine they're gonna introduce some really good ones this expansion. At least I very much hope so. And like this card will always raise the question. So if you want to get that Death Rattle, why don't you just run that Death Rattle instead of this terrible card?
Yeah.
Because there's not going to be a
Well,
shortage.
it's because I
of
can't
better
run
cards than this.
Tyrion in my priest deck. That's my problem.
This card is very rarely going to give you Tyrion.
I'm gonna
You
get
can't run
Tyrion
this card.
every time.
Just play Wild and use Entomb if you want
Yeah.
Tyrion.
Oh no, I'm just
Yeah.
I only play Wild anymore, but I'm just really concerned that it's going to
Well-
give me a zombie Chow, and I'm just gonna be like, well, shit.
It's gonna give you a zombie Chow, an unstable. It's gonna give you a Backstreet Leper. So your 3/1 dies and you get a 3/1.
Like, oh, hey.
This card is shit,
Yeah.
and it makes me sad. And then it was one of the first cards they released.
They always show the
Like,
bad cards first. They always show the
Yeah, but, like-
keywords, and then they're like, even Rexar. I feel like I hate to say it, but I feel
This
like
isn't
Rexar
even-
is not going to be very good for a while, just because they showed it
No need
first.
to.
Okay, so let's go on to our last and final revealed card.
Oh no.
Prince.
We're sorry, guys.
Prince Keleseth. This is a neutral legendary. It is a 2-mana 2/2, that most wonderful of stat lines, and it has a very special battle cry. It is battle cry. If your deck contains no 2-cost minions, give all minions in your deck +1/+1. So this card is essentially the Mistcaller and Hobart Grapplehammer had a baby, and it got mixed up kind of a bit with like half of Reno or something. I don't really understand the 2-cost thing, like thematically. There might be more coming out in the set which makes that make any amount of sense, but I don't really get it.
Yeah.
And like the 2-cost slot for almost every class is really important.
Yeah.
I can't think of a single class which could do without cutting their.
I feel like
Two
Hunter and Rogue might be the only two, but the thing is, it's not 2-cost minions; it's cards, so you can't run Eviscerate.
So Hunter cutting Crackling Razormaw. Is that really worth it for a +1/+1?
well, if you play a quest
Scavenging
warrior,
Hyena.
I mean, what I feel like is
Hunter.
if you could hold this off until you get Queen Carnissa, throw her down, then play him. Now you have a bunch of four 3s in your deck that draw a card. I feel like that could be pretty overwhelming. But
So you play Quest Hunter and you have no 2-drops.
I mean, you don't really have. There's really barely any 2-drops in the deck, anyways. I mean, you had the Grandmother and the Razormaw, but if you could cut those for something else, I don't know. We'll have to see how powerful.
I mean,
your 1-cost.
I think Hunter's one of the least likely classes to be able to do it, because Hunter is like the 2-drop slot is where like Hunter's power is 2 and 6.
Yeah.
I think Hunter.
Like, they have Scavenging Hyena, Kindly Grandmother, and Crackling Razormaw, which are like 3 of the cards which are basically the reason Hunter wins a lot of the games it manages to win.
If Hunter hero powers on 2, I know that I'm gonna win.
Yeah, like Hunter. If Hunter's game is often decided by do they have 2-drop. If yes, Hunter go face. If no, Hunter sad.
No.
And Rogue, I can't see Rogue.
I don't know. Maybe some
skipping
sort of like elemental.
Eviscerate.
I don't know, but yeah, Eviscerate's too good. You need Eviscerate.
Like Mage needs Frostbolt. It needs a glyph.
What is the card?
It needs
I can't see the
Technologist.
card. Does the card read minions or does the card
is cards.
read?
It's cards.
Yeah.
Spells included.
Yeah.
So Mage would have to cut Frostbolt. Priest would have to cut Radiant Elemental.
Mage
like
would have to
Shadow
run minions
Visions.
first.
Yeah, this would never be used in Mage.
Mage would have to cut Arcanologist.
But just
That's
think
not
about the deck and dropping this onto.
Even then, is that good?
I don't know. It's not your hand either. It's just your deck. So like if you have your guys in your hand, they don't get buffed. I don't know. I'm sure people will try this card out. I don't think it's very good.
I mean, like the effect has been, like, the thing I don't like is the effect has been done before.
Well, I think
That's literally the Mistcaller's effect.
the reason Mistcaller flopped. It was a 7-mana 4/4 or something like that, wasn't it?
It wasn't 7 mana, was it? It was a 6 mana 4/4.
But still, like the stats on that were miserable. Not worth it. I feel like this is a little bit more Worth
This you
it?
can get out right away. So turn 3, you're possibly drawing a card with a buff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or
Skipping
turn
2
2
drops
if
is
you
pretty
point
bad.
out.
But you also have to have this card on turn 2
Sure.
for it to be like remotely useful.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
It's like there are so many different like situational things which need to align for it to even like remotely work. Like you need to have diluted a deck to begin with. You need to have this card on turn 2. And
I feel like the best deck would have to be Rogue, though, if they somehow find a way to cut Eviscerate. Like, even this guy down here in the comments is saying, if you play this and throw some Shadow Steps on it, that's pretty good. But that's, like, the best case scenario. I don't know.
that is full on memery right
If
there.
you can get +3/+3 for everything, you're going to win.
Yeah. You know what? You could use this in Quest Rogue. And he could be the guy you bounce. Imagine that.
That'd be pretty cool.
Then you'd still get all 5/5s.
But then you can't run any of your Brewmasters. I don't know. It's not worth it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, then you can't run Brewmaster or Ferryman.
Yeah.
Oh, he's cost 2. Man.
Yeah, you don't.
Can you imagine,
So,
though, if this didn't have that restriction, the 2 costs? This would go straight into Quest Rogue. That's probably why they did it.
This is a very interesting card.
It would be really bad in Quest Rogue, wouldn't it?
Well, they wouldn't get the buff anyway. They'd just be 5/5s.
Yeah, it would just
Oh
be
my God,
like
that's true.
I was
I didn't think about that.
it would just be like your 5/5s have a +1/+1, and now they are 5/5s.
For some reason, I thought it stacked. You're right.
Nothing stacks with Quest Rogue. It's just 5/5s. Even if you use, I discovered I believe if you use Potion of Madness on an opposing minion, while your quest is active, it will become a 5/5 and it will then be returned to them as a 5/5. Don't do that.
Yeah.
That was a
So that covers the 5 cards that have been revealed. So stay tuned for more card reveals, which are expected to be coming out on the 24th, beginning that Monday, which then leads to speculation that we're not going to be seeing the actual expansion until mid-August, as the card packs do say coming in mid-August. So a lot of speculation around like the second week of August, around the 8th to 10th.
Mid-August.
So especially because that new thing coming out.
New thing?
The Frost Festival or whatever. Because it says it says 3 weeks, and that's probably going to start next week.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But the next big thing we wanted to talk about that goes along with the expansion is that it will contain a mini adventure, just like they discussed back when they announced that we would be going to a 3 expansion format. They said that starting with the second expansion and moving on forward throughout the future expansions, there will be a mini adventure that comes along with it. So you're going to get the adventure mode for free, and it's free for everybody. So you'll get the story and the lore of the expansion. You're going to get free packs by defeating the bosses. You will get a free legendary for beating just the prologue mission.
Yeah, it'll be a free hero card. You get that's just for beating the prologue mission in the same way as there was the Medivh versus Malchezaar thing at the start of Karazhan. So you just do the first mission and then you get your free hero card. It will be one chosen at random.
But the thing is that it's random, but it still works with the duplicate rule. So don't be afraid to open your packs before you attempt the prologue, because
you won't get a duplicate.
You're not going to get 2 of the same hero cards.
You'll just get some other heroes.
Yeah.
That's if you have all 9 by the time you do the prologue. I mean.
Yeah, then you will get a duplicate. Sadly.
Yeah, I won't be too worried.
Yeah, I'm quite excited to just do some of the missions again. They haven't said that there'll be like a heroic mode again, which makes me a little sad, because I liked spending far too much time on those.
I mean, the bright side is they said they're going to be hard.
Yes, I do not
I mean,
expect the heroic mode, but Benbow did say that they're going to be harder than the traditional normal mode, but not quite heroic.
He did say though
by
some
by
of them
by
will be as hard as
traditional.
heroic. So I'm assuming like the Lich King and so that's going to be hard because he said some of them are like above the level of heroic.
Oh, and there's one other thing about this too. It is official that there is going to be a special reward
Oh yeah,
if you beat the Lich King with all 9 classes.
that's gonna be hard.
Oh, really?
They
Yeah,
have not.
they won't say what it is.
Yeah, they won't say what it is yet, but there will be a special reward. I don't know what it will be. There's speculation that maybe you'll get like an Arthas hero portrait or something like that. But yeah, no, that's really exciting too. So
I'll eat that shit up.
Oh my God.
If it's a paladin skin.
I hadn't heard that. Oh my God. I'm as soon as the expansion comes out, I'm going straight to the fucking adventure mode.
And
Yeah.
they said it was really worth it. So if for them to say like it's worth it, that makes me think it's going to be pretty awesome. So I'm excited. So
I'm going.
I'll
I'm
be
going
kind of
to
mad
spend
if it's
so
a card
much
back. Like I'll be like, seriously.
If it, no, it's not going to be a card back.
I know. Can you imagine?
I would be fucking. I'd probably just quit Hearthstone at that point. I wouldn't, but
so
like going back to the difficulty thing, like when he says it's going to be harder than heroic, it does beg the question of which heroic, because
Well, I
there's
think
been like a big gap in difficulty over the adventures.
There was a percentage thing I saw. Like normal was like let's just say 20%, and heroic was like 200%. Or no, not that drastic, but you know what I'm saying. Like, so they just raise the difficulty of whatever person you're fighting. So you know, like if you're facing someone who's easy and they consider it like a 10% skill level, and you go and face them again heroic, it'd be like 100%. Or you know, I don't know.
Well,
Well,
like
all I
no,
know
it's
is that
just because
there is
some
now
expansions were, well, Karazhan was very easy,
Yeah.
and the heroic mode in that was like doable with 2 decks maybe.
yeah, it was.
Whereas
and
like the other ones took a lot of deck building. I like if they're saying, oh, some of them are going to be more difficult than like Nax heroic, I'm down.
That shit was hard.
they definitely heard, and they now actually have a dedicated adventure team. So there's a team of people that's just working on adventures. So
Even though adventures aren't a thing anymore.
well, in every expansion, there's
Yeah,
going to be an adventure.
they're classified as adventures. There's just not as many wings.
Yeah, so they're designing boss encounters and doing all this stuff to give us free content and free cards and
Free packs.
I'm so down.
so thanks, props
packs.
for doing this.
Yeah, I mean they've been they're getting pretty good at all this free stuff.
Yeah,
We're being spoiled.
Yeah.
yeah.
And like there is even more free stuff which we're going to talk about in a little bit.
So if you haven't already, you can pre-order now. You can pre-order through Battle.net or in the in-game client. So you can use your Amazon coins, get a discount.
Have you guys already done it?
Absolutely.
No, I don't have any Android devices. I'm all Apple, unfortunately. So I don't have Amazon coins.
Dude, you can get like an Android emulator for your computer.
I'll look into it. I'll see what I can do.
If anyone has any questions on how to get Amazon coins, we can put a link in the show notes. But there's lots of tutorials on how to use Amazon coins to purchase Hearthstone stuff, and you can get a good discount depending on what you purchase. You can usually do about 20%. That's free
I got
card.
like 25% off mine.
Yeah, cheaper cards is
You're
cheaper
paying like
cards.
$36, something like that. That's what I read.
So, but
Yeah, that's
let's-
how much I pay.
let's move on. We got a lot to talk about, and we've already hit the 1 hour mark. So,
Oh yeah.
Whew,
so
damn.
So the new patch has just hit. It came out yesterday, right after I learned how to play Quest Rogue. They
You
decided,
had a good run.
as we talked about last week, that the Quest Rogue nerf was going to come. So that is now live on on all servers, and now you need 5. You can dust your You can
You
dust,
dust your caverns below.
your caverns below for full value, which I did
1600
about
dust.
5 minutes after I logged on.
Why,
So,
why did you have all the cards?
because more dust.
I dust it just because, worst case, if it's playable again, I'll just craft it again.
Yep, you can always. That's the thing, is that since you get full dust reward for it back, if you're not playing Quest Rogue right now and you have it, dust it.
Yeah.
And then if you ever want to just you can always quest it, get
That's
it
what I
again.
did
But
with Yogg Saron.
now I've got 1,600 dust that I can spend towards a golden legendary that I'm never going to play again. Also, there were some arena changes. The arena changes we did discuss in a previous episode, which included drop rates going up drop rates for weapons increasing and weapon classes, as well as a lot of cards like Flappy Bird and Abyssal.
There's Flappy Bird, Flame Strike, and Abyssal Enforcer have all been dropped by 50%, I believe. Class weapons have gone up, I think, 100%.
Yeah, a lot of class weapons and spells.
And class minions, spells, and weapons have all been boosted, I think. As well as there is like 50% occurrence bonus for Ungoro cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then they dropped the drop rates for Flappy Bird because that card is stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
So now the guy who drafts Vicious Fledgling is going to be like the only guy who's done it, and he's just going to obliterate everyone still. He's gonna be like,
yeah.
Yeah. So we talked about that in the previous episode. Not much more to talk about. Obviously, you can check out the patch notes, which we'll put a link to the patch notes in our show notes. They also included some things which we did not expect. Which are
elementals.
Yes.
We got some new elementals.
Elemental Jade Shaman. We're ready.
I remember taking part in it was just like a random thing, which is like, why isn't mana geode an elemental? And I think some people eventually came to the conclusion that because mana is not an element, they can't be an elemental or something like that. Turns out Blizzard don't actually agree with that, and they just changed their mind. Mana geode and the crystal it creates are now elementals.
I feel like it's weird that Jade Spirit is like.
I guess
it doesn't look like an element. I don't know. Maybe it's embodiment of Jade. Maybe that could be. I don't know. It's just weird. But I like it.
If Mana Geode is like an elemental comprised of mana, then I guess you can also make elementals out of Jade. I mean,
yeah.
It kind of makes if elementals are not restricted to just like light, dark, fire, ice, blah, then it makes sense that Jade can have elementals, mana can have elementals. Wait, what were the other ones? We have
They don't matter.
Flame, the Flame of Azeroth, Illidan's thing, like his little 2/1s. Those are elementals, which affects literally nothing, because they're not played from your hand. So the elemental thing has nothing to do with.
Genie of Zephyrs has also been changed.
And Halaziel. Halaziel is now an elemental.
That's a big
which
one.
is, yeah. So Jade Spirit and Halaziel. If you want to play more kind of control Jade Shaman, two pretty cool cards, which now have the elemental tag.
Yeah, it buffs them. It just buffs those cards. And that's it. But the only interesting thing I noticed was because I was playing all week with my Tempo Elemental, Rogue, is that I was really, I would get the Servant of Kalmanos. I would get him.
Camelos.
Yeah, I would consistently get him and other things that I wanted, and now Jade Spirits were popping into my Discover. So it was actually effectively lowering the drop rate of things I wanted, which is why I then built Jade Elemental Rogue.
Jade Elemental Rogue.
There you go.
Yeah.
New meta.
We'll see how that works. It'll probably work as good as my Warlock Quest deck. But Zach, Dub, why don't you let us know? Tell us about the Fire Festival.
All right, so our Lord and Savior Ragnaros has come to give us a wonderful time, and it was a pretty cool Tavern Brawl we had last week too. But pretty much all gold is doubled for the last week and this week. So it's get your quests done. That's all I gotta say.
2 weeks of everything fire.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then we're going to move on after next week to the Frost Festival, which I'm very excited for because it was every week. It's going to be 3 weeks. Every week you get one free arena run with a win already added to your run. So effectively you only have to get win 11 times, which is going to be fun. And then every time you play, not win, play 3 arena games, you get a pack. So that's going to be good, especially,
Yeah.
people like me who aren't very good at arena and just go 0-3. Well, it'll be 1-3. But yeah, you get a pack. So you get 2 packs every time you play arena.
Go 0-3, and you still get that free pack.
Yeah, so this is
That's
pretty
all
cool.
you need.
Oh,
So you only get it once per week.
Yeah.
Dubs. Just once per week. It's
Well,
not like every.
I meant every time I played it, yeah, because I'm only going to play if it's free.
Yeah.
But
okay.
the cool thing is, though, I saw like someone who's like a infinite player for arena, and they're like, "Thank you so much. You're going to send all these noobs in to give me free wins." I thought it was funny. I'm sure all the arena players are going to enjoy this.
Yeah. Although if you see the announcement for the Frost Festival, like the names, like, talk about somebody called Ahoon, who is apparently like she's something frosty, and obviously she's something from the next expansion. I don't know if she's
I'm
like
not
a
familiar
wild
with the
thing.
name. Never heard of that name.
Yeah, I think it's like one of the like non-canon new things for it.
Yeah.
Like the first quest for the Frost Festival is called "The Fire Festival is over. It is Ahoon's turn." And then the second one is "My Frost Festival is way better than Ragnaros's lame Fire Festival." So like she's some kind of frost deity, frost god, frost elemental, something. Like, so she might be like a big part of the upcoming expansion.
I just hope
That'd be
they
cool
don't
to see.
change the lore too much, because Lich King is just a perfect story, start to finish.
I don't think they'll change the lore. It'll be like a kind of thing like they did with Naxxramas, which is just kind of they took a little bit of liberty with like the characters. Like they just made Kel'Thuzad a bit of a dope, but a pretty scary one. Yeah. So it's probably going to be something like that. I can't really see them giving the Lich King much of a sense of humor, or Mr. Bigglesworth, but we shall see.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about the fact that just Blizzard are giving out a lot of free stuff at the moment.
Yeah, very
like
grateful.
I was speaking to someone, but I think they're kind of cottoning on to the fact that if they get complacent, then the competition will kind of just overtake them.
Yeah,
something
that's good
like
though. Healthy competition is wonderful for games.
Yeah, I feel like Life Coach leaving for Gwent was probably like a big kind of shock to the system. They were like, oh shit, like because this week I did start playing Gwent. I went to the other side to see what it was like, and they are really, really good when it comes to giving free stuff. Like I got so many free packs, like so much stuff just given to you as a new player. And like Blizzard are obviously looking at this and going, shit,
like,
we need to start giving
here's a free arena run.
free stuff away.
Have fun losing.
Or like or winning if you don't suck.
Yeah. All right.
But
So
like obviously plus like if you think about it in terms of Blizzard's history of nerfs, like the Quest Rogue ones come pretty fast by their standards. So I feel like they're listening to the community on the whole more.
Yeah.
Like they're listening about the Quest Rogue thing and about the new player experience. So they're making legendary changes, the new pack rules, like the first 10 packs you get a legendary. They're giving legendaries away for free with the new expansion.
Yeah.
Like it's I think it's fucking great.
Yeah.
Because more cards for everybody. Make it a little bit less fair for those who, a little bit more fair for those who aren't willing to spend a stupid amount of money on a children's card game like us.
So let's talk about some high-end children's card game playing. We have the Spring Championships came to a conclusion this weekend, and big congratulations to Hoj. How you say it?
Hoe.
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 Well, good.
Hoe. I've been struggling with this
Yeah.
like
Big
all
shout out to him
weekend.
though. He played great finals against Calento.
He
He swept Calento, which is a big shocker to me because I was rooting for Calento to win. But he played very well.
Like Hoe plays fucking amazingly.
And he just
like he's
spot
just
on caught like predicted
like
the lineups.
yeah, no, like what was it? Calento had like a really bad matchup in all 3 games in the final, just because
Yeah.
Hoe like out mind gamed him.
Oh yeah.
Like counterpicked him every time. Like if you queue into 3 bad matchups, then you're gonna struggle. But like and this was after he also swept Ant 3-0 in the semi-finals. Like he went 3-0, 3-0 in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Supposedly the hardest 2. Like he lost 1 match like he actually won the tournament from the losers bracket after losing his first match, which is insane.
Yeah.
So I believe your two chosen champion was in fact Calento.
Yeah, we
right?
all did good.
Yeah. I mean,
You get 1 pack at least.
is it 1 or 2? He got to the quarterfinals. I should
Maybe
get.
it's 2.
Is that?
Yeah, it's 2.
I think it's.
Because first place
Although-
gets 4, and then second, which was Calento, gets 3. I think the other ones get 2.
Maybe I
don't
just
know.
get 1.
It's a couple packs. It's nothing special. I'll be happy regardless.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thanks.
Calista.
But like, well, I mean, my chosen champion he didn't do as well as Calento, but he did beat Calento. So I mean, there's something to, and they provided probably one of the best games of the
Oh
tournament.
yeah, that was an awesome matchup.
Was it? It was Control Paladin versus Quest Rogue. Like Mage just managed to play like an incredibly long, intricate game plan, and eventually managed to grind Quest Rogue out of resources, which it was like quite something to behold.
Yeah.
Like it like he picked up a redemption on like turn 2 from a hydrologist, didn't play it till he played his Tyrion with the coin on turn 8, like and eventually just won with like N'Zoth double
that was
Tyrion.
the big play when he with Tyrion. He can't beat that.
It was just it was that was a hell of a game. Like I was like, man, Mage is fucking good, and then he didn't quite make it.
Got crushed.
Got it. I was rooting for him, and that was Quest Rogue's last ever tournament play, pretty much.
Yeah.
You're not going to be like after being in like almost every single lineup at the Spring Championship, because it's just one of the best decks in tournament format. It's now completely obsolete. So it's worth saying that Poet and Calento they're going to the World Championships in September.
No, the World
the
Championship will be in January.
What?
Yeah,
January.
it's not going to be BlizzCon anymore.
Oh, really?
It'll be after BlizzCon.
Yeah.
I missed that.
They're probably going to have the fall championships at BlizzCon most likely or something like that.
Well, there is no fall. It's going to be winter,
That's
spring,
right.
summer, and then it's the last call.
Yeah, that's right. The last 4.
Your last
whatever,
call.
Last call is.
Oh, that's quite interesting. I missed that.
Yeah.
But anyway, joining them at the World Championships, obviously the 2 semi-finalists, the 2 losing semi-finalists, which are Ant, your own boy. Big up to him. He is.
He did pretty good.
And Neira, because Neira is just a fucking beast.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I think. He's pretty good at this
He's
game.
like Ant has become like one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
Like every time they like talk to him, and everyone's just like, "Oh, he's just such a lovely guy." And then you speak to him, he's just like the happiest man in the world.
Yeah.
Like I ended up in his stream the other day. I was like, "This guy's adorable." But at the same time, he just plays aggro, like everything super aggro.
Hey, it works for him. He's going to the World Championship.
Yeah, no, like he just hits people in the face. He hits people in the face a lot, well, with a big smile on his face, and who can begrudge him of that? It's so the World Championships is shaping up to be a pretty stellar lineup so far.
Yeah.
But we should really speed up because we've been talking for fucking forever.
All right, so let's
So
go
just,
ahead. We'll just go ahead
let's
and
talk
do
about-
our final thoughts and everything. We can.
But quick thing, the most of the round of 8 of the global games did happen today, and it had. Let's just quickly round up what happened. So China, South Korea, Czech Republic, Mexico, Ukraine, and the Netherlands are all through. Tomorrow, USA are going to play Taiwan, and New Zealand, our favourites, are going to play Canada. And I am quite excited because if the USA and New Zealand both win, then they're going to play against each other. So
Which will be awesome.
yeah, I'm rooting for New Zealand all the way in that match.
I might
And
for New Zealand too, because Patra's probably the hottest Hearthstone player in the world. So
maybe.
love you,
Um, but there was one really notable series today. If you just go check it out on YouTube, it was Netherlands versus Brazil today.
Such a good matchup.
It was ridiculous. So the Netherlands were 2-1 down. They were playing Taunt Warrior versus Spirit Echo Control Shaman. Spirit Echo Control Nazoth Shaman, White Eyes, and the Netherlands were just battling just to not die constantly.
Yeah.
I think they lost. There was a Storm Guardian and Face for 4 or 5 consecutive shots, and every time it hit Face. And it came down to the second brawl had been played. They just refilled everything. They had 5 minions on board, 6 health. And all Tyler had was he had no cards to interact with the board whatsoever. They were all gone. All he had left was a rag shot, or 1 in 6, and it hit Face.
wow.
If it had not, if that 16% chance had not happened, then they would have gone out for the global games.
Yeah. And then my boy Tice came in and just
I
took it
can't
home.
wait to watch it. I have yet to. I have not seen it yet. So I'm-
No, and then it's going into the match point tiebreaker, and Brazil have Jade Druid, and Netherlands have Control Paladin. Not a particularly good matchup, and it just came down to it got to the point where the Brazil were just 1 Jade Idol a turn. I think their Jade Golems got up to 18-18.
Wow.
I've never actually seen them go that high in a match where the game is not over, and it came down to top deck Stonehill Defender into just something to stall. I think it was a Mogashan Warden. Then the next one was Stonehill into Sunkeeper. Stonehill into Sunkeeper Tarim, which completely neutralized all their golems and allowed them to get the following turn a double consecration lethal. And
Don't forget to mention who piloted that deck. It was Tice.
our boy Tice.
We're working on getting him on the show, guys. Don't worry. We'll have him talk about that.
Big up the Enschede massive. But I go and watch that match. It was ridiculous. I did feel really bad for Brazil. Both teams played exceptionally well, but the Netherlands just played to their tiny chances and just somehow got there. Yeah. But watch that on YouTube.
cool.
Yeah, so we'll probably go ahead and wrap up for today. But please feel free to like us on Facebook. Come check us out on YouTube. We have a Twitter now. You guys can follow us. We also have a Patreon. If you guys want to donate any money or anything at all, it'd be very, very helpful to us. And we actually just got a Discord today. So if you guys want to come hang out with us on Discord, chat it up with us, we'll put that link in the show notes for you guys. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have had we didn't have time for deck of the week this week, but we will put a little. I'll write a little guide and put that on the Facebook. So we're missing out on your Murloc deck of the week because everything is Murlocs now.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it from us.
All right, and then with that, next week we will be doing some fun stuff. We should be having, I don't know if it'll be next week or in a few weeks, Chris Van Meter. He's a professional Magic the Gathering player. He's going to come on and talk about differences between playing Magic professionally and he plays Hearthstone casual. I don't think he plays it too much. But just talk about the differences, how he feels the competitive Hearthstone scene is compared to the competitive Magic scene and all that. So it'll be a fun interview we'll do. So we'll keep you updated. We'll definitely post about it whenever we get a set date. Yeah, super excited about that. Yeah, with that, we'll see you guys next week and have a wonderful Hearthstone day.
All right, guys. Take care. Thanks, everyone.
Adios.